Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of our game against Roma in the Europa League semi-final second leg. Bruno Fernandes was alongside Solskjaer in the press conference. So I'm gonna give you the questions that Ole was asked and I'm gonna give you his responses to them. And I'm going to do the exact same thing regarding Bruno Fernandes. So anyway, these are Solskjaer's questions, and this was the first question that was asked to him. Fans need to be listened to. What are your thoughts on Sunday? So all his response to that was, it was a difficult day for us. Of course, we wanted to play. We wanted to beat Liverpool for the fans. Our job has to be about getting good performances and good results on the pitch. That's the players' focus. That's my focus. As I said before the game, we have to listen. We have to hear the fans' voice. It's everyone's right to protest. It has to be in a civilised manner, though. It has to be in a peaceful manner. Unfortunately, when you break in, when police officers get injured, scarred for life, that's one step too far. Unfortunately, when it gets out of hand like this, it's a police matter. It's not about showing your opinions anymore. So yeah, that was a fair response from Ole. And you know what? I was very, very disappointed that the Man United and Liverpool game got postponed on Sunday. Obviously, it got postponed because hundreds of our fans went inside Old Trafford and invaded the pitch. Obviously, Gary Neville gave his perception on it, and he actually said it was a peaceful protest, and he said the Glazers are to blame for the protests. Not so long ago, they were protesting against the Glazers outside Old Trafford, and they burned the American flag. It was only the other week that our fans were protesting against the Glazers at Carrington. Some of our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground to protest, and obviously they've been holding banners up saying that we decide when you play, MUFC 20, 51% and Glazers out. More protests are planned at Old Trafford. Will the Old Trafford protests force the Glazers out of Manchester United? It recently said that the Glazers have no intentions of selling Man United. So reflects on that, the Glazers are here to stay. The Glazers have said they want £4 billion to sell the club. Now, like I updated you on my recent video, Avram Glazer refused to apologise over the European Super League. Sky News caught up with Avram Glazer in Florida. He refused to answer any questions. Earlier on this season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say that the Glazer family will not sell Manchester United. And before that, he told protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. The Red Knights have also told the Glazers to sell Manchester United. You can understand the fans' frustration though, because the Glazers have put us in so much debt. I hate the way the football club has been run for a while now, so if we get the Glazers out, it will be the right decision by Manchester United. The Glazers paid $500 million to buy the club back in 2005, so they've been with us now for 16 years. So there you go. So this was the second question that was asked to Ollie. Do you hope that the owners will communicate with the fans to ease the tension and the tension on you and the team? Ollie's response to that was, my job, my focus has to be on the results, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that we have challenges and frictions and things that we have to be dealt with the communications. Other individuals other than me have started already with discussing with the fans, with communicating to fans groups, which is going to be massive going forward for us. I think the players have done terrific to be where they are. I would be sad if the players got all the good work they had done disrupted. Our focus is on playing well and getting to a final now. Fair response again from Ollie. This was another question that was asked to him. What would be your message to the fans at the moment? Pretty long response from Ollie. He said, well, a little bit of what I've said here. Of course, we want to listen and it has to be in a peaceful manner. Please voice your opinions. We know that as a club we need to communicate better. As I said, if you refer back to the apologies, they all accepted it, came out wrong, and it was the wrong thing to do. Which is a start. Let's continue on that. I know our fans want a team that is likeable, that is playing attacking football, that is scoring goals, that is winning trophies, being humble and working hard to get better results. They can identify with them. We want to be a Man United team. I know that for fans, results are important. My job is the results, and we want to get back to winning trophies. We haven't won for a while, and that is something we're working on. That's my responsibility, and I'm sure our fans can see what the players are doing. Fair response again from Ollie. This was another question that was asked to him. In a season that has been so compact, how do you adapt your fitness programming? Ollie's response was, we have got great staff, fantastic fitness staff we have to work on. It's been a process since I came in. We brought some young staff in. Charlie has been brilliant. We're working on robustness, resilience. We have to be able to play 50 games. A winning Man United team has players who can play 45, 50 plus games at a high standard. That's lifestyle. That's what we do in training. Having good habits, recovering well. Well, you don't play periodising really well so that you know you can play in 10 days. It needs planning. Okay, you're playing in 7 days, you can train hard now. When you are a sub, I know how difficult it can be to get the complete match fitness by not playing games. When you play games, you get into a rhythm, and then all you have to hope for is not getting injuries. So this was another question that was asked to him. When you miss a game like you did on Sunday, does that affect your periodisation? The response was, it has changed the whole cycle, of course, it has done. We had a game Thursday and prepared for Sunday again. Sunday would have been the perfect day to test them again physically, but it was more of a mental change. The Monday was a harder day in training. It changes the whole thing, the whole plan, but you have to be adaptable, and with the world that we live in now, you can't think that's going to be that you get the fixture list in August and it won't change. The boys have been terrific at that, at adapting to different challenges. So this was another question that was asked to him. Should one of the Glazers speak to fans? The response was, I have been communicating to the owners. I got an apology personally. They have apologised to fans about how this came out. I knew it has started communications between other individuals than me and the fans. It is a difficult position to be in position to be in this for me, because I have to focus on the football. I always have a good relationship, and then they listen to me, and they do listen to the fans. I'm sure there will be better communication coming. This was another question that was asked to him. How do you ensure the players don't get too confident ahead of the second leg? All his response was, it's going into the game wanting a win and playing a good game of football as a team. We need to develop. We know that we aren't at the standard yet where we can go into a game thinking we can play on the result. We aren't going to play on the result. We are going to play to win the game, and that's the only way I think we should approach these games. To develop, to test ourselves and challenge ourselves. Of course, there might be one or two changes in the section because of the games coming up, but we have to get into the final. Everyone says it's done, but it's not. I have seen bigger upsets than this, and Roma have been part of big upsets. They beat Barcelona not long ago after being 4-1 down. So Ollie's not getting too confident. So this was another question that was asked to him. How disappointing is it that you are about to reach your first final as United manager, but the discussion around the ownership of Manchester United? So all his response was, as I've said, my focus has to be, I have to have laser focus on the football, but I also understand that there are views and challenges ahead outside of the football pitch, but my focus has to be on what's going to happen on the pitch over the next 3 weeks. But the right to protest, everyone has a human right to be heard, but it has to be peaceful when you step out of line and when you break onto the pitch and into the dressing rooms. That's one step too far. When it becomes a police matter, that's not nice. It's not being helped by a certain individual, but that's your end of it. Not you, Simon, but that's your end of it. So that was his response to that one. This question's regarding Mason Greenwood. It said Mason Greenwood could make his 100th appearance. What did you tell him to work on this season? All his response to that was, we spoke before the Liverpool game. That was going to be his 100th game, and we said, let's score a winner. That's what he does. He scores goals. He's really added the link-up play. He's so clever, so clean on his build-up play. He's giving assists. Decision-making is one thing, of course. If he's going to be a central striker or wide right, it's filling out. You have to be used to having players in your back and facing the wrong way. If you want to be a number 9, you are going to get hurt. You have to stick your head in and break your nose once in a while. He's a pretty boy, and I'm sure he wants to do that. That's the challenge for him. Just keep doing what he does. He's only 19. He's doing the right things on the training ground, and I'm very happy with him. So yeah, fair play to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for praising Mason Greenwood. I've been very, very impressed with Mason Greenwood since he broke into our senior squad. He made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. Earlier on this season, Mason Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. He deserved a new contract reflecting on his good performances. In the vast majority of his games, he's been consistent. Ollie's been defending him a lot this season. At the first part of this season, he was in and out of the team, so didn't really have much of a perception on him. Whether Greenwood plays on the right or whether he plays centrally, we just seem to get the best out of him. This question's regarding Edinson Cavani. So it says, have you had any joy at convincing Edinson to stay at Old Trafford for next season? This was a pretty short response from Ollie. He said, we have had some good conversations and we have had some good chats lately, even though the decision is still in his court, but I'm still hopeful, maybe more so when you see him on Thursday against Roma. And after that game, talking to him about doing that in front of a full Stretford end, that's different, that's magic. I'm still hopeful, yeah. And you know what? I hope Edison Cavani stays at Manchester United next season, and I presume a lot of United fans would like him to stay for next season because he has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. Analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, his hold-up play has been good, his movement in and around the box has been good, he's created chances and he's scored very, very good goals. But there has been some games where he hasn't got enough service and he has looked isolated. Now, last week it said that Edison Cavani has decided that he wants to stay at Manchester United in the summer. And it said it's expected to be official this week. And it said Cavani's close to agreeing a 1-year contract extension with Man United. Solskjaer did say not so long ago he's doing all he can to convince Edison Cavani to stay at the club. Before that, he said Cavani's future was not 100% decided. Not so long ago, Edison Cavani had a meeting with Man United and he actually asked to leave Man United to join Boca Juniors. Ollie did say earlier on this season that Cavani was closer to Boca Juniors than staying at Manchester United, and before that, Edison Cavani's father came out and said that Edison Cavani is unhappy, he's not comfortable in England and he wants to leave. Footballer Insider said earlier on this season that Cavani was willing to take a pay cut at Boca Juniors, and he said he had a verbal agreement with them and Boca Juniors willing to offer him a 3-year contract. There you go. So, looks like Cavani's going to be staying. This was the final question that was asked to Wally. How do you mend this situation? So Ollie's response was, of course, it has to be a United Football Club to make things grow. You need to give it some patience. I'm hopeful that in time we can unite and come together. Frictions and challenges can be good. They can move things forward. The last few weeks have been difficult. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that. I have had a backing, I have got to say. I have been put in charge and I am responsible for the results. I'm responsible for the football matters. I understand that fans want to see results and trophies. I'm hopeful that they can see that the team is moving forward. It's going places and can see the process we're in. Hopefully we can get to a final tomorrow. That's the short-term fix to get to the final and we'll take it from there. So that was everything Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. So these were Bruno Fernandes' questions. So this was the first one. What do Paul Pogba and Cavani bring to you and your game? So Fernandes' response to that was, quality players always bring quality to the team. We all know what Paul and Eddie can do for the team. We all know what they have. People can have doubts on them sometimes, but we as a team never have. We know what they can bring to us. The most important is that everyone knows it doesn't matter your place, everyone has something to say. The most important thing is the improvement of the team in the last few months, and we still have a lot to improve. So, fair response from Bruno Fernandes. So, this was the second question that was asked to Bruno Fernandes. How difficult was Sunday for the players? Bruno Fernandes' response was, of course, for us, it was hard because we want to play football. This is what it's about for us. We prepared well for the big game and, of course, the chance to play in this kind of game, it's always good. The team was ready to play. It was a good week for us. We played really well against Roma before and the confidence was high. This type of thing, we have nothing to say about that. The fans have their own words and they think it was the best for them and they did it, and we have nothing to say on that. Our focus is on playing football and doing the best for the club. This was another question that was asked to Fernandes. How difficult is it to ignore supporters' actions because something similar happened to you at Sporting Lisbon? Are there any similarities? His response to that was, it is not close with that because what happened at Sporting, not Sporting Lisbon, please. was completely different and was something between the fans and the players. Here, we have no problems with the fans. They don't come close to us. The problems the fans had at Sporting were to the players, and it was really different to what happened to us on Sunday. Honestly, I don't want to compare because I don't want to remember what happened at Sporting that has passed from Sporting. I have just good memories, and what happened on Sunday is past. It is over. The most important thing for the team is to play now against Roma, and we will see when we play against Liverpool. The most important is for the team to win games. For us as players, we all want is to play. Good response again from Fernandes. This was another question that was asked to him. How much would you like players like Cavani and Pogba to stay? His response was, they are really important for us and the qualities they have. Is it difficult to find on the market for a good price? I think everyone knows that the team is growing with their help, and it's important for us to keep our best players and keep improving as a team. This is near the end of the press conference. It's a very, very long one. This was another question, by the way. What would winning a trophy do for this team? So Fernandes' response was, for us, it's a physiological improvement if we win the Europa League, because last season we didn't win anything. So if we win a trophy, it is an improvement. It's still not enough for us, but it's something from the club, from the players, to say that we are doing better, but there's still a lot to improve, as I said before. This was another question. Did you consider speaking to supporters on Sunday? Fernandes' response was, it's not your friend before the one who said that. He put that on the news. I don't know who told him that. I was in my room watching football because it was Udinese against Juventus. I never tried to come outside. No one tried to go outside. We just did what security told us. We just stayed in our room. If someone tried to go out, I don't know. I didn't see anyone try and come out. This is the final question. How close to your best do you feel you were against Roma? Is that hard to maintain once you've played 50 plus matches this season? I hope to play more 50 again next season. Honestly, for me, when you play for a club like this, your standards have to be high. For me, my game against Rome was not the best. But in terms of numbers, it was the best because of 2 goals and 2 assists for the first time, of course. It was a good game, I think. Also, individually, I played really well. I want to improve, so maybe next time, 3 assists and 2 goals. The most important thing for us is the way we win, and we are closer to getting a trophy. So that was exactly everything that was mentioned during the press conference. Our first final is in sight under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's going to be our 8th major European final. We got to the Europa League semi-finals last season, didn't we? We lost 2-1 to Sevilla. We won the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho, where we beat Ajax in the final 2-0. Obviously, we beat Roma 6-2 in the first leg at Old Trafford. I thought we were sensational in the second half, but we was poor in the first half. Don't forget, we was trailing 2-1 at half time. Don't forget, 3 Roma players went off injured in the first half. That was Lopez, Spinazzola and Vertout. Roma have got other injuries as well. The goals obviously came for us from Edinson Cavani. He got 2. Bruno Fernandes got 2. Pogba scored and Mason Greenwood scored. And Roma's goals came from Lorenzo Pellegrini and Edin Dzeko. We played Roma back in the 2006-7 Champions League quarter-final. We beaten them 7-1. Roma are in a bad vein of form. I think they're winless in their last 6 or 7 games in all competitions. It has been announced that Paulo Fonseca will be leaving Roma at the end of the season. Paulo Fonseca has been Roma manager since 2019. The reason he's leaving because of a poor run of results. Roma have announced that Jose Mourinho will be their head coach for next season. I heard that Jose Mourinho wants David De Gea as his first signing as Roma manager. Earlier on this season, Jose Mourinho got sacked by Tottenham. We also sacked him back in December 2018. I think Roma are sitting like 7th in Serie A. They've got some good players of Roma though. Obviously, Edin Dzeko, he's one of their key players. He likes scoring against Manchester United, like I mentioned, scored in the first leg and scored quite a lot of times against us when he was at Man City. Mkhitaryan, he's good for Roma. He looks very, very dangerous in the first half, in the first leg. I think he'll be playing in this game. If he does, he'll be reuniting with Manchester United again. Chris Smalling, I think he's done quite well for Roma. I think he'll be playing in this game. If he does, he'll be reuniting with Manchester United again. Don't forget, Smalling was out of injury for Roma at one point. He was out for like 6 weeks. Lorenzo Pellegrini is definitely one of their key players. I think he'll be involved tomorrow. They've got Brian Reynolds as well. I think they brought him in earlier on this year. And they've got that Shawi as well. So I'm hoping for a Manchester United and Arsenal final. I presume everybody will want a Man United and Arsenal final because obviously it's an all-English final. Arsenal are 2-1 down at the moment to Villarreal, but Arsenal are more than capable of pulling it back at the Emirates. Obviously, our next league game is Aston Villa. That's at the weekend. Another game Manchester United should be winning. We're in a good vein of form though. I think we are unbeaten in our last 7 games in all competitions. The injuries we've got is obviously Martial. He's out with a knee injury. Phil Jones, he's out injured. He's been out injured over the year. And I think Daniel James is going to be missing this game against Roma because he's picked up an injury. Obviously, you already know the news on the transfers. Obviously, on my last video, I give you the news on Sam Johnstone from West Brom. Recent reports have said that Man United are considering a move to re-sign Sam Johnstone. We're seeing him as a replacement for De Gea. West Brom will demand 20 million for Sam Johnstone if they're relegated. Man United have a sell-on clause of around 15% after selling him to West Brom for 6 million back in 2018. Sam Johnstone's current contract expires next year with West Brom. He's had a lot of loan spells as well. Don't forget, we had Sam Johnstone for 9 years. He came up our academy. We're in search for a second choice goalkeeper, because it looks like De Gea is going to be leaving in the summer transfer window. Obviously, Dean Henderson is our number 1 now. I give you the news as well, didn't I, regarding Harry Kane from Tottenham. Apparently the Glazers are ready to sanction a 90 million bid for Harry Kane to appease our fans. Kane said a few weeks ago that he wants to win team trophies after Tottenham's Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City. And Kane said earlier on this season he wants to leave Tottenham if Tottenham failed to qualify for the Champions League. Kane has said that he wants to stay in the Premier League if he decides to leave Tottenham. Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, said not so long ago Tottenham will only consider offers starting at 125 million for Kane. But we have been in for him for a long time. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.